Hi and welcome to a Kirby Maths video on how to convert a percentage into a fraction. Now percentage means out of 100. So when we are converting it into a fraction, it means that to begin with we are always going to write it as a fraction with 100 on the bottom of the fraction. The denominator of the fraction will be 100. Let's start off with one that's quite straightforward. If we think about 50%, now hopefully we already know that 50% of something means half of something. So we know we're going to end up with the fraction that is a half. We start off with our percentage so that the method is always the same, writing 50, the percentage, over 100. And then we start to cancel down the fraction, and that means looking for factors of 50 and 100 so we can divide by that number. Now 50 and 100 both divide by 2 because they are even numbers. So I am going to divide the top by 2 and divide the bottom by 2. And you always have to divide the top and the bottom by the same number. So 50 divided by 2 is 25. And 100 divided by 2 is 50. 25 and 50 are not both even numbers, so I have to work my way up through numbers now, looking for factors of 25 and 50 which are the same. So because they end in a 0 and a 5, that means that 5 will go into 25 and 5 will go into 50. So I divide 25 by 5 and I divide 50 by 5. 25 divided by 5, how many 5s are there in 25? There are 5. 50 divided by 5, how many 5s are there in 50? There are 10. When I look at these two numbers, they also both divide by 5 because they end in a 5 or a 0. So I'm going to divide by 5 again and divide by 5 again. And that would give me 5 divided by 5 is 1 and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So we have ended up with our fraction, which is a half. I'm going to do a few more examples. I've got 12%, which I'm going to convert into a fraction. So I start off by writing 12 over 100. Now 12 and 100 are both even numbers, so that means that 2 will go into them. So I'm going to divide by 2, divide by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 100 divided by 2 is 50. 6 and 50 are both also even numbers. So I can divide that by 2 again, divide by 2 again. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 50 divided by 2 is 25. Can't cancel this down any further because 3 is a prime number. That means it only has factors 1 and 3 does not go into 25, so there's no further cancelling to be done. If I had 15%, first of all I write it as 15 out of 100. Because it ends in a 5 and ends in a 0, I can divide by 5. Divide by 5. How many 5s are there in 15? There are 3. How many 5s are there in 100? There are 20. And again, I can't cancel that down any further. That's the most simple that fraction can be, because 3 is a prime number. It only has factors 1 and 3 does not go into 20. If I start off with a percentage like 13%, and I write 13 out of 100, I can't actually cancel that down any further because 13 is a prime number. It only has factors 1 and 13 does not go into 100. So sometimes the percentage is just written as the fraction out of 100. Thanks for watching.